أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I just wanted to find out, can everybody hear me and see me as well?
Assalamu alaikum, Maulana. Yep, we can hear you and see you, bro.
Alright, good, alhamdulillah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك. وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone?
Alhamdulillah, how's Maulana?
Alhamdulillah, Maulana.
Oh, good, alhamdulillah. I make dua that you're finding yourselves in the best of spirits in these blessed days, the most blessed days in the year, and that we are seizing every opportunity to do goodness, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. It's quite late already, so we'll just jump straight into our reader, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Right? For homework, you guys had to do page number 11, correct?
Page 12, Maulana, the first four.
Oh, sorry, for the first four on page number 12. Did we go through the last four lines on page number 11? No, we didn't. So what we'll do is we'll go through those inshallah, and then we'll look at those first four lines of last week, and we'll continue from there bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So this follows on from chapter number 5, where Ibrahim alayhi salam was being questioned about who broke the idols, basically. And Ibrahim alayhi salam was accusing the people who were accusing him, telling them, you know that the idols don't speak. And so this is the section that we did in our groups last week. I'm just going to go through them. I'm going to read them, right, so that you can hear that you are reading them correctly, and I'm going to translate them so that we can so that you can understand that you have the correct translations بإذن ta'ala. So Ibrahim, قال إبراهيم, line number 14, page number 11. قال إبراهيم, Ibrahim عليه السلام said, كيف تعبدون الأصنام وإنها لا تضر ولا تنفع. How do you worship the idols whilst indeed they do not harm nor do they benefit? وكيف تسألون الناس وكيف تسألون الأصنام, and how do you ask the idols وإنها لا تنطق ولا تسمع, whilst certainly they do not speak nor do they hear. Line number 16. ألا تفهمون شيئا, do you not understand anything? أفلا تعقلون, can you not think? Line number 17. وسكت الناس وخجلوا, the people became silent, وخجلوا, and they were dumbfounded. Any questions there?
Maulana, a question, please.
Yes, Muna?
This is 13, 14, 15, 16. On line 16,
Okay.
you had translated, what does the word shay'an mean? We might have done this before.
شيئا means a thing. A thing. Right?
A thing.
But oftentimes, when we have it used in a negative sense, then we translate it, even sometimes in a positive sense, we translate it as anything.
Okay.
Literally, it means a thing. But if you do not understand even a thing, that means you don't understand anything. Right? So, ألا تفهمون شيئا means, do you, the makes it into a question. ألا تفهمون شيئا, do you not understand anything? Don't you understand a thing? فلا تعقلون, can you not use your عقل, can you not think?
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
Okay, then we carry on. We did the first 4 lines of chapter number 6 for homework. We're going to go through those as well, just as we did for those lines before, and then we'll look at the next few lines, inshallah. Narun baridatun. Narun baridatun. Quick question. What kind of construction is that? You can put it in the chat. You can say it live. You can put your hand up if you want to. Anybody? Narun baridatun.
I think it's Sifa Mawsuf.
Yeah, Mawsuf Sifa.
Mawsuf Sifa.
That's correct, yes. A Mawsuf Sifa construction. Now, Mawsuf Sifa construction, they must agree in how many things?
In Gen,
Well,
all 4.
Yeah, so I'm already showing 4. So they must agree in gender. But now, what's happening here? Narun doesn't have any, Narun looks a certain way, and then we have Baridatun, which we can clearly see is a feminine word because it has a ta marbuta at the end. Right? So what's happening there?
Narun is deemed feminine.
Exactly. Brilliant. Narun is a word that is, it's mu'annath sima'i. It's a word that is deemed feminine. Just yeah. Okay. Sorry, the video was just getting missing all the time. So it's deemed feminine. So they do agree in gender, then they do agree in encasing or hal. You can see they both are in rafa. They both agree in number. Both are singular, and they both agree in definiteness. Both of them have a tanween. So we know that's a mawsuf sifa construction. That means a cool fire. A cool fire. So what happened? اجتمع الناس وقالوا. اجتمع الناس. اجتمع means to gather by oneself, to gather. So who's the fa'al of اجتمع? This is a verb. It's not a verb form that we've covered thus far, but اجتمع means to gather. So اجتمع الناس, the people gathered, وقالوا, and they said, ماذا نفعل? What shall we do? Or what will we do? نفعل literally means we are doing or we will do. ماذا نفعل? What will we do? Or what shall we do? Line number 2. So these are the people now discussing amongst themselves. They're gathering and they're asking each other, what will we do? Number 2. إن إبراهيم كسر الأصنام وأهان الآلهة. إن إبراهيم كسر الأصنام. Certainly Ibrahim عليه السلام broke the idols وأهان الآلهة, and he disgraced or humiliated the gods. وسأل الناس, and the people asked, ما عقاب إبراهيم? What is the punishment, عقاب, what is the punishment of Ibrahim? This is a مضاف إليه construction. ما عقاب إبراهيم? What is the punishment of Ibrahim عليه السلام? And you can see عقاب is a light word, no al, no tanween. This word is a strange word. It doesn't even get a kasra. So you cannot see that it's in jar, but it is actually in jar. ما جزاء إبراهيم, and the exact same thing is happening here. What is the punishment of Ibrahim? What is the recompense of Ibrahim? كان الجواب, the response was, حرقوه وانصروا آلهتكم. حرقوه, burn him. وانصروا, and help, that's a command, and help آلهتكم, your idols, or help your gods rather. Burn him and help your gods. Any questions on those? Remember, there's no question that's silly. Don't think you're supposed to know stuff and that's why you're not asking a question. Ask. Nabila, Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum, Maulana.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
So I wanted to know, I'm not sure if this has been mentioned before, but in line 2, Inna Ibrahima Kasara Asnam. The word Ibrahim comes before kasara, and it's not in raf'un. So like what part of the sentence would that be?
Okay, that's a very good question, right? The two types of sentences you learned thus far, right, is a jumla ismiya and a jumla fi'liya, correct? You learned
Yes.
that? Right. Okay. So Ibrahim is what kind of word? It's an ism. Now, if I have an ism at the beginning of a sentence, I must have a mubtada and a khabar. The mubtada is usually in a rafa and the khabar is in rafa. Right? Um, I think that is what you would have learnt about when you learnt about the nominal sentence or the jumla ismiya. Now, this little thing over here, inna, it comes to emphasize a sentence. But what it does, it has an effect on the mubtada. It changes the mubtada to nasb. Right? This word inna, it changes the mubtada into nasb, and we give it a different name. We call it something else. If I were to tell you, we call it the ism, or the subject of inna. The subject of inna. But don't get bogged down with all of those technicalities. The simple thing is this: when I have inna at the beginning, when I put inna at the beginning of a sentence, it's to emphasize something, and it changes the mubtada into nasb. Now, you will have, we'll speak about that at more length a bit later. What we wanted you to see in this book, as you identified experientially, is that the inna can come at the beginning of a sentence and it causes some change to the mubtada. But you'll actually learn the technicalities of that in Nahu, inshallah. Is that fine?
Yes, shukran.
Afwan. Tawfiq?
Maulana, for number 4,
Yes?
the parts that are from the Quran, that hariqu,
Yes.
you translate that as burn him and help your God. So that's like, isn't hariqu, they burn him, hariqu?
No.
What
This
form is that
verb
verb
here,
in?
right? This verb, this is an amr. And this here
Okay,
is also
this
an
is a
amr.
command. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't spot
Both of
that.
them are
It's not a
commands.
command form.
This form of the verb, this form of the verb harriq is one that you haven't learnt yet, right? It's a second form verb. The verb would sound something like this: harraqa, harraqa. Like you would have learnt fa'ala, right? But you get another verb form, fa'ala. Now this isn't that verb form. Harraqa, yuharriqu. And then the amr will be fa'il or harriq. When it's plural, to be harriqu. Now if anybody is not following what I'm saying, don't worry about that, right? We are going to learn that in sarf, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala.
Okay,
But does it
Maulana.
answer your question? This is an amr.
Yes, I just couldn't see that it's an amr from what I know.
Yes, because it's an amr of a verb form, not yet. It's an amr of a verb form that we haven't yet covered in sarf. Right?
Okay,
But wansuru,
problem.
could you see that was an amr?
I did translate it as they burn him and
But
help.
if you look at it now, I mean, in retrospect,
Yeah,
the
because we have
amr
learned that
sounds,
one.
yeah, if'al. If'al, or if'al, yeah, right? So you can have, it's if'al, or, yeah, so for example, you can have uh, if'al or iftah, you can have idrib, or you can have unsur. So this is what we have here, unsur. And the plural will be unsuru. Plural will be unsuru. So this is what we have here. But have you ever heard of a hamzatul wasl?
I have heard it, but I'm not sure what it is. We did learn it, I think,
Karim,
if I'm not
Karim?
mistaken.
Okay.
Maulana, but also, how did you know that that was unsur? Oh, but did you look at the sword and the ra because because of the wow, when it says one suru, you can't really see. But then you look at the
Yes.
suru.
So the verb is like this. I'm gonna write over here. The verb is nasara. Nasara. The present tense is
Yang suru.
yansuru. Sorry for writing skew, man. I'm like writing on my screen here, so it's a bit hard. Nasara yansuru. So when I form my command, how do I form it? I take the present tense, right? I take the present tense. And then I replace the ya at the beginning with a hamza. And I keep
Oh,
the rest
yes,
the same.
yes. Unsuru, yeah.
The last one gets a sukoon. That one stays with its sukoon. So the u at the end changes to sukoon. Sukoon. That harakat stays the same thing. Now, which harakat do I put on this letter here? On the
It's
hamza.
the sword. That
Right. It's either going to be a e if the middle letter here has a or e, a fatha or kasra. If this one has a dhamma, then that one gets a dhamma. Unsur.
okay.
Right. But there's something about this harakah. That is what we call a hamzatul wasl. What a hamzatul wasl, like, you know, in your Quran, or if you know, if you're using the Arabic print, you'll find sometimes hamza is written like that or like that, and sometimes you just have that. You may even have it like this. When it's when it's when it's written like this or like this, that means you must pronounce it always. It's always going to make a sound or a e sound. When it's written like this or like this, then it means when you can read through it without pronouncing it at all, then you must do that. Now look over here. What do we have here? Over
It's
here
not
we
the
have this one.
third one.
So what does that mean? We're going to try and read right through it.
Yeah.
So that's why we're not saying wa unsuru, we're just saying wansuru. Instead of saying wa unsuru, we're just saying wansuru. And that applies to all of the amrs on the first bab. And it applies a lot of places. We're going to come across it in due time. Like if you look at this construction here, or this construction here, we didn't say ma iqabu Ibrahim. Or either it will be said ma iqabu Ibrahim. We said ma iqabu Ibrahim. Or we didn't say ma jaza'u Ibrahim. We said ma jaza'u Ibrahim. We pronounced it, and you can see it has that little hamzachi over there. That shows you that you must pronounce it. This one doesn't. It shows us that if we can read through it, we must read through it. Right?
Yes, Maulana.
Okay, I hope that's clear.
Okay.
What we'll do now, inshallah, is let's break off into our groups, just 10 minutes. And then I want you to work on the next, let me see. You can just work on the next 3 lines. Number 5, 6, and 7, inshallah. Each person read one, see if you're reading it correctly, and then try and work through the translations of them. We're not going to spend too much time on that. The period started a bit late today. So let's do that now, please, inshallah. Nasreen, can we put everybody into the groups, please? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته once again. I know that was a short group session, but I hope you guys got through something. I'm not on. Yeah. So what we'll do is, inshallah, just due to time constraints, we'll go through those 3 lines next week, inshallah, to check their meanings. And what I want you to do for homework is complete page number 13, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Right, so for homework, page number 13. Oh, sorry, holiday next week. So does that mean I must give more homework?
Less homework, Maulana.
Less homework, Maulana. It's Eid next week, Maulana.
Yeah. Okay, just do these 4 lines on page
Time
number
for
13.
revision.
Inshallah. Okay, so just do the 4 lines on page number 13 for homework, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. That's fine. So,
Jazakallah khairan.
as you usually do, as we've been working through the book, right? Okay, back to our surah now.